Hello friends, this is Cheryl and welcome back. Continuing on with our health laws or the health principles for you to live by. These are the principles that are going to help you reverse your diabetes, lose weight, and experience restoration of health. We are on to the health law that is rest, or the nature's healer that is rest. You know, in revolutionary France, during revolutionary France, they had repudiated anything to do with God. So they initiated a new calendar called the Republican calendar, which, by the way, did away with God's 7-day week cycle. It instead had consistent 30-day months divided into 3 periods of 10 days. The last day of each decade was designated a rest day. Well, the results, they successfully eliminated the Christian influence from the calendar, and what ensued was severe physical and mental exhaustion, and even the poor horses in the street broke down under the strain of a long work week. Doesn't sound like it worked very well. The system was soon abandoned as unworkable, and this comes from the book France in the Modern Age. So time periods such as days, months, and years clearly have their basis in the movements of the earth and the moon, but the 7-day week cannot be correlated with any astronomical or natural phenomena. It clearly has its origins at the very beginning of the world, when God set aside the 7th day as a day of rest. After 6 days of creation, He made us, and then He knows that we need rest. Wonderful rest. As essential to health as activity, we still deprive our bodies of needed rest. God created us with the need for rest and spiritual renewal. Thus, He gave us a weekly day of rest. So let's look at the science. This comes from the New Start book. Proper rest adds years to your life. 7 to 8 hours of sleep seems to be ideal, with less than 6 and more than 9 actually causing fatigue, unclear thinking, and it's just not good. So let's also look at something else that is scientific, and I personally think this is amazing. Sleep before midnight is twice as beneficial as sleep after midnight. So what happens is growth hormones are released that are useful in adults for repair and healing, cheerfulness, and a strong mind. Now, these hormones are produced mainly before midnight and only when asleep. And this comes from a book entitled Emphasis on Health by Dr. Agatha Thrash. Mark Mashawalt, who was a professor of neurology at the University of Minnesota Medical School, says that any amount of sleep deprivation will diminish your mental performance. 1 complete night of sleep deprivation is as impairing in simulated driving tests as a legally intoxicating blood alcohol level. Now that's pretty scary. Proper rest results in higher productivity. Chronic sleep loss may not only increase the severity but also hasten the onset of diseases such as diabetes, hypertension, obesity, and memory loss. And this comes from the Lancet Journal on October 23, 1999. What about sleep meds? Well, 600 tons of sleeping meds taken yearly in the U.S. that's a lot of sleep medication. Now, these meds often suppress REM sleep. So when awakened, you may not feel as refreshed. If continued over time, sleep meds will contribute to chronic fatigue and may actually lessen your mental performance. So that is something to think about, friends. So here's some natural sleep inducers. Are you ready? Exercise. Well, you wouldn't. Exercise increases our energy level, but guess what else? It also helps us to sleep better. But also, and this is why you hear me say over and over in our cooking classes, no evening meals or snacks, okay? Because your stomach it works to digest food. So we want nothing in that stomach after 6 p.m. at night. No evening meals or snacks. Fresh air circulating in the room, but don't chill the skin. Have a comfortable bed and a dark room. No lights. Sometimes you might want to soak in a warm bath for 30 to 60 minutes. Also, avoid stimulants like TV. TV is actually a stimulant. If you sit there and watch all that stuff, especially if there's a lot of violence or action or things that are just stressing you out, it's not very relaxing before bed. Caffeine. Caffeine is a stimulant, and that's not going to help you to sleep. Highly refined foods and stress, of course. So don't rehearse the day's problems at bedtime. Instead, count your blessings. Come unto me, all ye that labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. That's the best advice that any of us can get, and that is in Matthew 11:28. Thank you, and God bless you.